bring you more on, and this is the debate around the State of the Nation address. If you listened to the various political parties, their representative post the State of the Nation address, you can almost get a hint of how that debate is likely to go. Let's move on to this now. Moving tributes and condolences continue to pour in for South African, of course, rapper Keenan Forbes, also known as AKA, and others called him Super Mega. Forbes was shot and killed outside a restaurant in Durban on Friday night, and news of his passing have left fans reeling with shock. Let's speak to our reporter Balentle Mthethwa, who is on the ground for us outside his home. Balentle, it must be difficult to be there, particularly spotting people who are coming in and out. Who have you managed to catch a glimpse of, and have they spoken to the media at all?
Well, certainly it is a sad day as people do come in. We've seen friends and family coming to pay their respects. Some are known and some are popular musicians, such as Khuli Chana. We know him as a musician, but also a friend of Keenan Forbes, who's popularly known as AKA or Super Mega to many. We understand that the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, is expected to start arriving in the next moment, really in the next 5 minutes. But before he arrives, I'm joined by also musician and music producer Oskido, popularly known as Oskido. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I mean, we know AKA as a musician. We know him performing on different platforms, but you probably know him as someone who walks into your studio and trying to get a record deal or something.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a record deal. I mean,
the only reason I played his video is because when I was doing the memorial service yesterday, I seen about like 4 or 5 comments of him holding back a few artists or something like that. So I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But if y'all got some information on him, just let me know, gang. I'm going to tap into everybody. I'm going to learn everybody first and last name, feel me? By the end of this year, I promise y'all, gang. Let's get it, though.
I mean, I think I know him through, his work, what he's done. He's done an amazing work. And also, as a father, as you know that I'm very close with Zinhle. So they've got a daughter who I'm still close, with the daughter. And also that's how actually our relationship. So it was through music, and also the way he was taking care of his daughter, being a present dad.
So, I mean, I can imagine that that's a huge...
I agree with that part. The way it looked like he was a great father, feel me? They had a great bond.
Milestone in every person's life to have a daughter and to play a huge role in his life, and I imagine he's going to be missed very greatly by his daughter. Talk to us about some of the moments that you've managed to witness between Keenan and his daughter.
Well, I think for me, I think he was always putting it even on social media, because a lot of times is that we as fathers, we become not present to our kids. We don't even celebrate milestones with our kids and all that, and that's a lot of mistakes which we as fathers have done. But I think Keenan showed that differently, because you could see that he was always there, even taking his kid for a holiday and all that. I mean, through his busy schedule. And for me, I also learned a lot that is very, very important for us to be present to our kids. And that was one of the most outstanding things which I've always admired about him, loving his daughter,
Certainly. Now, as a musician, do you have any encounters with him as a musician? Has he ever walked into studio and not been prepared?
Well, we've worked together, in some couple of days. I remember just walking down in this house. I was supposed to work with him, and he called me at 8 in the morning. I was dropping off my daughter. He says, no, Hotman, come through. And I dropped off my daughter, and we worked until about 1 p.m. In the afternoon, and we really had fun, and we spoke a lot about life. Him wanting to find out a lot about this industry. As you know, that this industry, it's abusive to a lot of artists, especially when you don't understand what's going on. So I was, we're talking mostly about what I've learned, what I've gone through, and the mistakes which I've made, because I've made a lot of mistakes, you know, in the industry. But those mistakes, I was telling him that they need to teach you something, and let's learn from our mistake. And as you can see, when he left this world, he was a changed Kenan. You know, you could see that it wasn't the Kenan we knew 10 years ago. It's just like those who know me as Oscar Waruna. I'm something else. Some people at one stage, they wrote me off, like as a write-off, but I learned from my mistakes, and we all go through that phase. And I think for me...
Why they said that he was a write-off? What'd he do?
He's left a huge gap in the music industry because he was really a music person, and he wasn't just doing music just for the sake of fame, but he had it. You could hear even all his music. It was more, I mean, he would come back to me and say, you know what, you know, I used to listen to church grooves, you know, the stuff you've been doing, it's influencing me. You know what DJ Fresh has been doing, or if he wants to sample a song, Grootman, how do I get this thing? And you can see that the way he was writing his music. He wasn't just doing it, but it's a person who grew up listening to music and admiring, I mean, what was happening in the music scene.
Certainly, because if you refer to you as Grootman, it would mean that he had great respect for you, you know, and if he could sit down with you and get advice and just get those, you know, pearls of wisdom from you, it only speaks to the amount of respect that he had for you and how much he looked up to you. But are you able to talk to us about the contribution that he's made? You say he was a music person and he was wholeheartedly for the music. You know, what was his contribution to the music fraternity? How different was his music to, say, others, and what made him really stand out from the rest?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I think he's going to go down as the greatest hip-hop artist, you know, of all time in Mzansi, because he carried the flag. And when he carried the flag of local hip-hop, he carried the South African flags. You could see him at times on stage. He was patriotic about this country. He loved this country, and he was saying that, you know, I'm hip-hop. And through that, you could see he influenced a lot of people, because he was a role model to a lot of people. So therefore, for me, is one of the greatest hip-hop stars ever created in this country is going to be missed. We don't know who's going to fill that gap, and we're going to miss him a lot. And that's what I learned, because you leave that legacy. When we talk about SA hip-hop, he's got mega hits. That's why it's called Super Mega.
Certainly. Thank you so much for speaking to us. There you have.
All right, so gang, I watched that because I really want y'all opinion. Feel me? I asked a few questions when I upload this. I hope y'all flood up the comments and let me know some more information, man, because I'm here for the information. But